Good morning students. The next topic is regarding the friends under the concept of module 1. So within this friends you will be learning 4 concepts. One, you will take friend as a non-member function. Once you will consider friend as a member function, friend as a class, and friend acts like a bridge between 2 classes. Okay, so first topic we'll be discussing over here is regarding the friend as a non-member function. So before you just go into these definition, I'll just keep this program open and I'll just tell you the general concept of friend acting as a non-member function. Now, what do you mean as a friend acting as a non-member function? Now, for example, I'll just give an example. See here, a friend is a non-member function. Why it tells a friend is a non-member function? Because this is your class. General, we'll just take this particular example. This is a class. Within this you have a data member index, and then this is a friend function. Okay, I'll tell what it exactly has, but it doesn't have any member function. This is a friend member function. Okay, and he is not a member of this particular class. He is not a member of this particular class. Why I've called over here prototype the friend function? Because I am accessing a data member over here. So general, what is the definition of friend function is, it is not a member of any class. Remember students, it is not a member of any class. Now this function void ABC, whatever this function is there, right, he is a non-member function, but he wants to access the member of this particular class. Okay, he is a this is my function, okay, actually ABC. He is a non-member function, but he wants to access the data member of this particular class. If he wants to access the data member of this particular class, then he should be defined as a friend within this class. So that's what I've done. Friend void ABC within this particular class, and I'm passing the parameter A over here. I'll tell what it is. So just understand the concept. A friend function is not a member of any class, but it is able to access the members of particular class if it is being initialized as friend within that particular class. Okay, so this is your definition of the friend, but I'll just give an real-time example. Now what, for example, my friend, okay, I have one friend. She is not a member of my home. Agree? In my home there are 4 members: my dad, myself and my brother and myself. Okay, there are 4 members in my home, so they are my data members. I mean, they are my members of the family, but my friend is not a member of my home. But in case if she comes home, she can access my things. That means she can access my she can speak to my parents, my brother, my dad, and she can also access my thing. But how can she access? Only if she is my friend. Agree? If someone outside, can they come and access the members of my home, like my parents? No, they're not known to me. But if she is my friend, she can speak to my parents, she can speak to my brother, and so on. She can access my things also. So what is the keyword I'm using over there? Friend. So what is actually happening? She is not actually a member of my family. She is not actually my member of my family, but she is my friend, so she can access my data members. So she can access my home data members. So I should declare her as my friend within my class. So I declared, now ABC is my friend, so I declared her as my friend within my class. And within the parameter, I am sending the class name. The class name is assigned as an argument so that it can access the data members. So that my friend, now ABC is my friend. So if he wants to access my data members of the class, of the class A, then I should send the parameter as A. So this is regarding the basic definitions what I told. Now I'll just come to this particular program and I'll explain you what is happening. Okay, then I'll go and show back you the definitions. So class A, int x is my data member, public friend void ABC. This is not my member function. Remember students, this is not my member function, but my friend ABC is my friend. He wants to access my data member, so I should declare him as my friend. So friend void ABC within the bracket A is nothing but this class name. So prototype of the friend function. When you declare outside, when you're going to define the friend function, void ABC is the friend function. Within that, a object. So here I am defining the object. I should access the data member through the objects itself, right? Now this X, if I want to access, I should have an object of that particular class. That's why this class has been sent over here. So class name is assigned as an argument so that I can access the data member through this object. So here I sent A, here I am defining that class object, A object, void ABC. And remember students, there is no scope resolution operator I am going to use over here. Why I am not going to use the scope resolution operator? Because it is not a function. I mean, this is not the function of this particular class A. If it is a function of this particular class A, then I should use the scope resolution, return type, class name, scope resolution, function name. So this is not. And also I am not using this friend keyword again over here. I am going to use friend keyword only within this particular class. So I hope it's clear. One is you're not going to use the scope resolution operator, or just defining it as a normal function, but the argument you're passing is the class name with the object. Okay, so this is regarding void ABC, A object, friend function. Now within this I told enter the X value. Okay, how can I access the X value? Through the object A object. So C in A object. I can do the increment also, no issue, because I have the permission to access my data member of the class. Then X value is been printed. So this is regarding the non-member function. This is regarding friend acting as a non-member function, not a member function using as a friend, non-member function. So this person is non-member function. Okay, but he is a friend of class A. If he is a friend of class A, he should be declared as friend and that function within that class name. And then if I declare such a way, then this data member can be manipulated or can be accessed by this particular function. So that is the concept of the friend acting as a non-member function. Okay, now just come back and we'll read the definition. A friend function is a non-member function that has the special right to access private data members of any objects of the class whom it is a friend. So as I told, my friend access, once she comes to my home, she can speak to my parents, she can speak to my family. Okay, I mean, she can access whatever once if I declare as a friend, she can access the private data members of my family. So a friend function is prototype within the definition of the class of which is intended to be a friend. Okay, a friend function is prototype within the definition of the class, prototyped within the definition of the class which is intended to be a friend. What is the meaning of this? That's what I told. If you're a friend, I should declare him as a friend within my class. Then only he can access the data member. So that is the meaning of this. Friend function is prototyped within the definition of the class which is intended to be a friend. The prototype is prefixed with the keyword friend. So you had seen friend, whatever the function name. Non-member friend functions are defined without using the scope resolution operator. As I told, this whatever this function is there, ABC, is not a member function of he is not a member of my family. If he is my member of my family, then I can use the scope resolution operator. Since he is not a member of my family, I am not going to use the scope resolution operator. I am not going to use the scope resolution operator. Okay, so non-member friend functions are not called with respect to an object. That also you have to remember. See here in the program, I have defined A1 object, agree, class of A, but I have not called using A1.abc A1. Why? Because ABC is not a it is a non-member function. If it is a member function, then I can call it using A1.abc within the bracket whatever. Since it is not a member of my class, I cannot call it through object. So non-member friend functions are not called with respect to an object, So this is regarding the basic concepts of the friend non-member function. Other important points you should know: friend keyword should appear in the prototype only and not in the definition. As I told, you would prototyped over here. You prototyped friend keyword here, but you're not called friend over here. Okay, one point is that friend function can be prototyped in either the private or the public sections of the class. Friend function takes one extra parameters as compared to member function. So if you had seen the data member function, you pass other arguments whatever you send. In addition to that, this takes an extra member. Extra is nothing but this class name. Okay, within other than class name, you can also send any other parameters whatever is required for the particular function, but this class name should be sent. That's what he's telling. Friend function takes one extra parameters as compared to a member function that perform the same task. This is because it cannot be called with respect to any object. This is because it cannot be called with respect to any object. Instead, object itself appears as an explicit parameter in the function call. And we should not use the scope resolution operator while defining the friend function. So see this particular example. See this particular example. What is happening over here is beginning of the friend # include iostream.h using name class A, data member is int. This is not a member function of this particular class, but this is a friend of this particular class. So if it is, and this is a non-member function, so you can see it is a non-member function. If it wants to access this particular class, then it should be defined like friend void abc semicolon. Definition, this is just a prototype. While defining this particular friend class, friend non-member function, I'm not passing the keyword friend, as well as I'm not using the scope resolution operator. So I'm just calling void abc, same class A, and then A object. Now define this particular, enter the x value. Okay, now x value is a member of this particular class. So if you want to access that particular, you want to insert the x value, you should insert using this dot operator, object A object dot x. Then I incremented this x, accessing private member, incremented. Then I printed the x value, and then within the main I declare this AA1, ABCA1, ABCA1, whatever the non-member function, and then I call the object, because here the parameter is object I'm going to send. So this is regarding the example 1 of this particular friend function. So just we'll run this particular program. Okay, so this is the same example what I've seen, friend 1, whatever we had seen over there. Okay, so I'll just compile it and run. So what will happen, enter the x value will be there, enter the x value, so I'll give the value as 10, x value gets incremented, final x value will be printed. So this is regarding how the output it is visible for the non-member function, okay, of a non-member function when declared as a friend. So within this function what was happening, I entered the x value, I entered using this object fetching the data member, and then I incremented. So if you enter 10, it would get incremented, and finally it would print this. Okay, so here also you see I did not call a1.abc because this is not a member function of this particular class. It's a non-member function. It's a non-member function, and this is the definition of the friend function. Okay, this is the definition of the friend function. So this is one example. Other example you have is example 2 I have given. See here, same thing, similar example to that, similar to that. I have declared 2 data members, and then I have called int add a, int add a, and I've declared him as a friend int add a is a class name, int add aa1 object I've declared. Within this I declared z. Why? Because x I'm taking the value from the keyboard, y I'm taking, addition I'm performing and storing in this particular z. So enter the x value, same a1.x, enter the y value a1.y, and then z is equal to a1.x plus a1.y. the sum is this. And again here aa1 add a1, you can call with the same object name whatever you want. Here I have defined a1, instead you can also call a2 add a2, different object names can be there. So this is similar to the previous program itself. So let us run this program also and see the output, friend2.cpp, and I'll just run this particular program. So it will take 2 x and y values, enter the x value, I'll give 10, enter the y value, I'll give 20. So the sum is 30 is been displayed. So you can see, enter the x value through the object a1.x, enter the y value a1.y, and z is equal to a1.x plus a1.y, the sum is z. So this will be printed. So this is regarding the friend acting as a non-member function. So you just need to remember a few things over here. If you have a friend who wants to access the data member, then she should be defined with the keyword friend and her function name, whatever. And parameter you have to pass the class name. And this is not a member function of this particular class. It is actually a non-member function. If you declare it as a friend within the class, then she can access the data member. Outside the class, when you define this particular function, non-member function, you don't put a keyword friend and you don't use the scope resolution operator. Why? Because it is not a member of this particular class. And if you want to fetch this data members, you're using the objects A objects, and then you're going to fetch. And one more point, within the main, I am not calling function using the object. Why? Because it is a non-member function, so it's not required to call a1.abc. It will throw the error actually, because it is a non-member function. So this is regarding the friend acting as a non-member function. I hope it's clear with these concepts. Next we'll see regarding the concept of friend class. Friend classes. Here what can be done is a class can be made as a friend of another class. For example, this is a class A. Within this it will have its own private members and member functions, but I can make another class as a friend of this class A, so that class can access the data members of this particular class. So here I declared B as a friend of A. Now what is the advantage of that? If I declare B as a friend of A, then he can access the data members of the class A, whatever is defined within this. So for that syntax, to make one class to be a friend of another class, I should just put friend and then class B. Now this particular class B can access the data of class A, that is the data members of the class A. So that is regarding the concept of friend classes. So a class can be a friend of another class. Member functions of a friend class, that means whatever this friend class, like B's member functions, right, they can access the private data members of objects of the class of which it is a friend. That means whatever is defined within this member function, he can access the private data members of the class A through the objects. Okay, so that is regarding the second point. If class B is to be made friend of class A, then the statement friend class B should be written within the definition of the class A. So I've told, right, class B I want to make a friend of class A, so that class B can access the data members of the class A through the objects. Then I should declare it in this way: friend class B, friend class B. So if a class B is to be made friend of a class A, then the statement friend class B should be written within the definition of the class A. The above statement can be placed, whatever this friend class, right, it can be placed either in the private or in the public section of the class. So this is regarding the basic definition of the friend classes, and this is the syntax how we are going to do. Let us see the example program. So here class A, int x is the data member of this particular class A. Then I declared friend class B. That's it. I don't have any member function for this class A. Now within the class B public, I declared void display, and then I gave A and A. Why this A? I'm going to fetch the data member of this particular class. So obviously parameter should be class name as well as the object. Then I give enter the value of x, because I'm going to enter the value of this data member I want to enter. So obviously a dot x, so c in a dot x. Finally value of x I just printed. So this is a simple program. Then I close this particular class B. Then int main a b b, that means A is an object of A, B is an object of A. Now since it is a if it was a non-member function like previous, it was just display. Since it is a member function of this particular class, so through this object I should call this particular function with parameter of this particular class. So it is b dot display A. So this is regarding the simple program for the friend class. So just you can access the members of the class A by just calling friend class B. So this particular class B's member function can access this particular values. So that's what is being showed in this particular example. So just keyword is friend class B. No need to use again friend over here. Friend class B means class B can use these data members for their member functions. So here I void display AA. Why A? Through this objects I am going to enter the details of data members. So class A, that's object A dot x. Finally within the main I should call through the object, because this member function is defined within the class. So b dot display. Why this A? I should call the object, right, object of this particular class. So it is A. So this is regarding the example 1. So let us run this particular program in the code blocks. So that is friend 3. I'll just run for this particular program, build and run. So you can enter the any value, so that value will be printed. That's it. I enter the value of x, it will take the value of x, and value of x will be displayed. Value of x will be displayed. So let us see the execution part of this particular section. enter the value of x is arrived 10. So the value of the x has been printed. So this is regarding the friend class. So one more example for the friend class is over here. So here same thing, but here I've declared class B first. I've just declared class B. Why? These are just the comments till here. From here to here it's a comment. So if it was class A, within this I just declared friend class B, right? So what will happen, the definition of the friend class B is after class A. So if you just declared forward declaration, it's better. Forward declaration necessary because definition of a class B is after the statement that declares the class B as a friend of class A. That means within this you'll call it class B, but it is not known, right? So it's better you declare the forward declaration, just class B. Just class B declare semicolon, that's it. Hash include iostream.h using namespace std class B semicolon, and then you will call these declarations and then class A, open the bracket, that's it. So class A, within this I have a private member as int x. Okay, then public I have two functions within this. Remember, void set x, and then I've declared it as constant int equal to 0, default value constant int equal 0, int get x constant. Both are constant. You can see here it is passing the constant, and here it is, this function itself is the constant. Here constant parameter, here constant function, here constant parameter, and friend class B. Now within this class B I declared int y. What is the advantage? This class B is a friend of class A, so you can use this x. So public int y I declare, int get y const and void test friend. Now what I'll be doing is, let us, these three definitions, set x, get x, int get y, all these are there, and in addition test friend is there. So let us see the definition. So test friend is of this particular class B, so scope resolution operator, void B test friend. Within this I declared AA, or else I can pass here itself AA. I declared here AA, then I gave a dot set x 5. Why I'm using AA is this A int x I'm going to use, that's why I'm declaring that a dot set x 5. Why set x 5? This function is being called, this set x function is being called. Okay, so over here a dot set x 5, and then that whatever the y, in the y value I'm storing a dot x. Now a dot set x 5, if it is called, it will come to this particular function. You know that set x is from the void A, from the class A, this function. So it is from the class A. So scope resolution operator, void A, scope resolution operator, set x constant int A. Within this I put x is equal to A. So whatever the value is being fetched over here, that will be sent and stored in the x. What will be the int b get y? I've not defined int get x. Okay, I've just defined int get y, just int b get y const. In this I just put return y. Now what will be the return y? That should be from this function, right? Y is equal to a dot x. So this access to private data x from the friend function. So value of y will be printed. Within this I created an object b1. I just called b1 dot test friend, and then I told b1 dot get y. When I call b1 dot test friend, that x value will be fetched. A dot set x 5 value will be set. This 5 value will be set, and it will be stored in this particular y, and the value of y will be printed, so this is regarding another example of the friend class. Okay, so just we'll run this particular program. So we'll just run this particular program similar to the previous program itself. See, the value of y is 5, and since I return here see why it is coming again 5 is because here I written b1 dot test friend, right? When I call b1 dot test friend, the value of y will be printed, the value of y 5 will be printed. When I tell b1 dot get y, what is the get y function? b1 dot get y, int b get y, here return y, what is the value? 5. So that value was getting printed over here. So that value was getting printed over here. You can see the value of y is from the test friend, and this 5 value is from the get y. This 5 value, if you see here, it is from the b1 dot get y. So it is getting this particular function. So this is regarding the friend function. So briefing about the friend class, this is regarding the friend class. So briefing regarding the friend class is nothing but, if you declare friend class within another class, so that friend class can access the data members of for this friend class member function. So this is the syntax, and that is regarding the definition of the friend class. Next we'll see regarding the concept of friend member functions. Now here we are going to see how can we make a friend member functions. Okay, now we have already seen friend as a non-member function, friend as a class, friend classes. How can you make one class to be a friend of another class? Now how can you make friend member functions to be accessing the data of one more class? So here, how can we make some specific member functions of one class friendly to another class? Okay, like for example, within the class A, I made this friend void B test friend. So what is happening is, this is class A. It has its own private members and data members and functions. Now I want to make a member function of class B to access the data member of this. So how can I do that? A member function of other class. So the syntax is friend return type class name of that class, that is my other class, and that's function name. So you can see here, how can we make some specific member function of one class friendly to another class? For making only B test friend function a friend of class A, replace the line friend class B in the declaration of the class A. Now what was there? Now for example, if you had seen here, here we declared friend class B. Instead of this, right, the member function of this should be declared within here. That is the only point. That is, instead of friend class B, I am declaring the member function of this. So what is that member function? Friend I need void return type B scope resolution operator test friend. Why the scope resolution operator? Because this function is not of your class A. This function is not of your class A. This function test friend is of class B, so I should use void B scope resolution operator test B and then friend. So this is regarding the how you're going to declare the friend member function. The prototype is same, friend syntax, return type, class name, scope resolution operator, and the friend function name. So this is the prototype you're going to use over there. So this is the prototype you're going to use in the friend member function. So this is the syntax, friend return type, your class name of the friend, and test friend. Within this you're going to use. Okay, so here I've given a simple example. So this is the example. So here class A is being declared forward. Why I've defined the class A over here as a forward? Because within this class B, I'm going to tell that this pointer is of type class A. That's why it's better you declare the class A forward declaration. And then public, within this there are two functions of this class B. Then I closed. Okay, now within this class A, int x I have defined, and then public, then I called friend void B, this itself, void B, y return type of this, scope resolution, class name, scope resolution, test friend, constant int equal to 0, and then I called friend. Now this, within this class, it has this data member, right? So this data member can be used within this particular function. So this is regarding the concept of friend member function. So this is how the friend member function works. Next, you have the concept as friend bridges. Now what is the concept of friend bridges is, friend functions can be used as a bridge between two classes. Can be used as bridges between the two classes. So overall, I'll just tell you what is happening. What is the bridge? What is the concept of bridge is, now you have one non-member function. Non-member function means a function which is not member of this class or this class. Okay, but that non-member function wants to access the data member of this particular class as well as this particular class. So he should be defined friend as a friend in both the classes. So you can see here, say friend void AB const A and const B, and friend void AB const A and const B. So this is regarding the concept of friend bridges. So friend bridges can be used as a bridges between two classes. Suppose there are two unrelated classes whose private data member needs simultaneous update through a common function. This function should be declared as a friend to both the classes. So it can also act as a bridge between two classes. It means that you can access the members of two classes simultaneously. We can declare the same function as a friend of both the classes. So this is regarding the concept of friend bridges. That's what I told. If you want to access the data member of this class, and if you want to access the data member of this class, then it's better to define declare the friend function of same name. Whatever that function, non-member function which wants to access the data members of both, you declare within this in the both the classes. So that's what is mentioned over here. Okay, can access the members of two classes simultaneously and can do the operation. So this is the concept of friend breaches. So example over here is class A I have declared forward, and then class B definition I have given. Within the private I have int B, then public I have mentioned the function int set intent, and n value I have put it in the B and return the value of the B. Okay, insert intent, I put the n value stored in the B, whatever the value. For example, if I in the main, if I send 10, then the value of B will be 10. Then friend int print value within this function. This is a non-member function. Remember students, int print value is a non-member function. I've just called here friend int. Now this, what is the job? This function wants to use the data member of this particular class. That's it. So I declared friend int print value, and with the what parameters over here as class name and the object A and X and B and Y. This B is of this class. This, I mean, I'm fetching one variable from this. I mean one from A class and one from B class. So here again class A I define. So private int A, int set A is equal to n. So here A value will be written in this particular function. Then again A and X, B and Y. This is function declaration. Now let us define this function. This is a non-member function, so no need scope resolution operator and no need friend keyword. First concept of the friend. So int print value A and AX, B and BY. Within this I declared int send. I just perform the addition of two number. One value I am taking from the class A. The value of A is equal to AX dot A. From this object I am taking, and B I am taking from B class B. Then I am performing the addition, and finally I am going to print. Okay, print the sum. So int main A1, B1. So I have to set the values for both, right? I have to set the values for both. I mean for this as well as for this. So what will happen? Whatever is there, A1 dot set 10. So that whatever set 10 means it will go for this. A1 dot set 10 means it will go here. A is equal to 1. Return A will be there. So A value will be having the value now 10. So when it is having 10, here A value will be having returning 10. Here B value will be returning 20. Same way 20. So 10 comma 20 will be passed. 10 comma 20 will be passed. So whatever the A is equal to AX dot A will be having 10. BY dot B will be having 20. Addition will be performed, and finally the result will be displayed. So this is regarding the concept as friend acting as a bridge. Friend acting as a bridge. That means friend can be declared in both the classes, which takes one member from the one class and other one member from the other class. So let us see the running of this particular program in the code blocks. Okay, we'll just run. So same program. So you can see here 10. It will print the values are A is equal to AX dot A. A is equal to AX dot A means A is equal to AX dot A. Values are AX dot A is equal to 10 and B is equal to 20. Finally it will perform the sum, and the sum is being printed as 30. So this is the concept of the friends. So here we learned as a friend one concept regarding friend non-member function, friend class, friend member functions, and friend bridges. So this entire concept covers regarding the concepts of the friend in the object oriented concepts. Thank you.